Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share yet another update on my experience with the HP Spectre X360 2-in-1. This is the 13T that I've been covering since launch, and this is now officially my third machine. For those of you that have followed my coverage, you know that I've had various issues pertaining to quality control, and so now my custom build direct from HP, which you may have noticed is the natural silver color. You can tell by the two-tone finish on the box has arrived. Only difference here is that we have a 2 terabyte NVMe, which not only did I go with for the additional storage space, but also what I assume and hope will be better performance. So without further ado, let's get this out of the box and hope that I don't have the problems that I've already had. And for those of you that missed my coverage in the past, the QC issues were specifically to do with two elements, one being a popping noise on the side of the chassis, which of course I'm hoping I don't have here. I did wait for this machine for nearly a month, and then, or it's 3 weeks roughly. And then the other issue was to do with the trackpad. The trackpad was, the touchpad was constantly moving essentially. It had play that it shouldn't have. So, natural silver, 1065 G7, 16 gigs of RAM, and again, the 2 terabyte NVMe, of course, Intel Wi-Fi 6 chipset. I'm looking for the pull tab, it's right in front of me, and I can already tell you I like the fit and finish of this machine better, just overall prefer it, but I am fairly nervous about opening this, and I've been trying to just not think too much about how much I've been through with these machines and just hope for the best here. So, I'm going to move this aside and just get to what is critical for this video, which is, do I have a winner or a dud? And for those of you, again, that have followed my coverage, you already know I think this is one of the best 2-in-1s on the market, if that's what you're after. But, as I said, quality control has been my problem. And the news here is good on this. So we have no pop. Better not be any on the other side. All right, so it's not falling apart. Now, the touchpad, which I have good news. HP got this one right. So, as long as I don't power this up now and have a broken display or something else ridiculous, we might be in business, finally. Let's see. I am not interested in the third time's a charm nonsense. Whichever number, I won't go to, an excessive number. 3 is already excessive, but it looks like everything is quiet on the, all's quiet on the Western Front here. And it looks good. And I also mean, when I say it looks good, that the silver finish, I think, is far more flattering. I know there are a lot of you out there who thought that I was crazy, that I was not interested in the other finish, but it grew on me, but growing on me isn't what I'm looking for out of a new machine. So let's put this aside for 1 second.
I'm Cortana.
Cortana's yapping already, surprise.
A little sign in here.
I'm in a good mood, thus far, but I want to show you what else I got here, because I did change one other thing, which is... All right, Cortana, you are talking way too much. So, the charger is the same, of course, but I did pick up the tilt pen. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the tilt pen, it's not a new product. My God, Cortana. Holy moly. Automated imbecile. All right, so the tilt pen, and that's what should be in here, does it say tilt pen, is normally around 70 to 80 US, and it's been on the market for several years. The key difference is that it's supposed to provide better functionality, but we do not have a pen driven, at least to my knowledge, by a quadruple A battery. Instead, we're dealing with a pen that, and this is where it's a little bit of a pain, you have to charge it using a Type-C connection. And you can see right there, bring it into focus as best I can, that is the port. Now, if this does provide a better experience, then I think it's worth it. However, having to recharge it that way is very inconvenient compared to the traditional quadruple A, and there you can see the instructions. It says an hour of charge time equates to, I wonder, I remember reading it somewhere in the specs before I ordered it, but with HP, the upgrade option is about $30, so I figured I already have enough N-Trig pens, and I really do, so let's see if the tilt is any better. I mean, this is the regular HP pen that's included, so it's smaller, substantially smaller actually. And then, for reference, my old Vio pen, which was one of my favorites from the Canvas Z. That was a great system, beautiful display on that thing. And then, of course, one of the older Surface pens, which is what this looks a lot like, but again, you can see substantially larger with the tilt. So we'll see what the tilt is like. I'll give you feedback, and of course, I'm going to give all of you feedback on what the new machine is like, because I am very excited to finally have it. I waited long enough, and it looks like the silver color has not done me wrong. I mean, everything looks in order. I don't see any damage. Nothing, well, I didn't go over it. Let's take a quick look. So Type A port, 3.5mm jack, the power button, everything looks clean. Bottom of the machine looks clean. Front looking good. Right side, of course, the micro SD card slot, the kill switch for the camera, and then the two Thunderbolt 3 ports. Everything looks kosher. So I'm excited to finally have a machine that looks like it's the one I'm going to work with. And now I can move towards giving all of you a full review, because for those of you that were wondering when it was going to come, this was the literal holdup, because I couldn't give you a final opinion on this machine without actually having the one I would keep, right? I mean, if I based it off of the previous builds, we already knew where everything stood, which was that I thought it was a great machine, but inherently flawed because of QC. And by the way, the quality control will still probably turn off a lot of users, but I feel the juice is worth the squeeze. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here on the third model. I mean, I go through a lot of different electronics, and this was not going to be, any exception. I really had to like this, well, more than like it. I won't say love, because it is a laptop, but you see where I'm going. I had to really want it, and here we are, and it looks like it worked out. The right color, for me at least, and as I said, the other one grew on me, and I think the blue is also a nice color. I think they're all pretty nice, but if you're looking for something that's a little less ostentatious and traditional, this fits at least what I'm looking for. This thing's already a head turner without any two-tone paint job. Forget anything that's really metallic. I know the natural silver is what comes base, but that's perfectly fine with me. At any rate, I will put this again through all of the paces, get Steam installed, do some benchmarking, see how this machine fares compared to the other two that I've already benchmarked, see if it stays any cooler. I'm not expecting anything. I'm interested to see if we have a different BIOS out of the box. I don't think that we will, but I'll keep everyone updated and basically go through the exact same process that I already have. And I will, of course, update everyone on whether or not the tilt seems like a logical add-on for this. Again, if you're going direct with HP, I think that for $30 more, it's worth consideration. If you're not, I don't think I would look at it. And it definitely has to be more so because you really are going to lean on using the pen input, which with a 2-in-1, you probably should. But again, just excited to have a machine that does appear not to have any manufacturer's defects on arrival. And now I can think about just using it and continuing to, believe it or not, edit for the channel, because I did do some of that editing already. The new intro, all of that jazz was pretty much driven by the previous HP. So again, interested to see how this machine handles it, and I'll let all of you know in the next update whether or not the 2TB NVMe is Samsung or what we're looking at. Hopefully it's not an Intel drive, but I do expect better performance. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them, hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.